Hello, this is Brendan Gaither, and this is my Module 2 discussion post covering the case study. Mine was specifically on the St. Luke Lutheran Church uh, and reviewing some issues that they had. This church also had a school component, and there were issues not only with membership, they noticed declining enrollment in the school. Members of the church weren't aware of events and activities. There were communication issues resulting in confusion and conflict. Spent a lot of time putting out fires, dealing with issues rather than moving ahead in the work that they're assigned. Low morale amongst the staff and detachment from the organization by stakeholders. Um, to kind of alleviate this issue, they hired a consultant who, again, went and reviewed the organization in order to identify the problem and come up with a solution. That consultant started by collecting data through the process of reviewing documents, manuals, newsletters, bulletins, signs, websites, any messaging tools, so any medium of communication that the church used, the consultant reviewed. They also did interviews of the staff, congregation members, parents of the students, and interviewed the individual workers within the organization as well. I think this was effective because the consultant um, pretty much got an opinion from all the stakeholders or representatives of the stakeholders in the organization. Um, so the solution that the consultant came up with was to create 5 action areas based on the data collected. The Each action area had a certain group that was tasked with implementing the plan. So the consultant described the plan in detail and the rationale for each action area, and this was done for the people who would be implementing it. So it made sure that it was clear what an individual would specifically be doing. So it's hard for them. I mean, I imagine it'd be difficult to implement something you don't know what you're doing. So this person made sure they had a method of communicating with the people directly so they know exactly what was going on. Um, what I learned from it, so first we can look at the results of what happened. The solution, I couldn't say if it was effective or not because at the time of the writing, the intervention hadn't been established. So the plan was worked out. They communicated to the people what they were doing. They were working on implementing the interventions at that moment. So this is something that we would have to follow up on to know the success of it. Um, as far as for the staff, what lessons were learned, I think they learned the effect of a breakdown in communication and how it can have deep ramifications for their entire organization, and not just in one part, but with everybody. Um, from this case study, I also saw that one big connecting problem is may be the case rather than a number of smaller problems. So in this case, just communication gaps was the issue. That was the big thing, the big idea issue, and it led to problems amongst all the organizations. So, all the I guess departments of the organization. So it might be important to be able to identify those parts. What what is the connecting theme that is like an issue with the organization. Um, as far as what I can gather from my project, I like that they used multiple types of information, and the information doesn't have to be as complex as I mentioned, even just signs, signage, newsletters. It doesn't have to be full data reports all the time that you're reviewing, but small portions of communication, like I said, the signs and everything. These were indicative of the problem that the church was having. So I may not have to look at very complex material solely for the project. We can probably find some smaller things as well that could help us understand what problems our organization is having. But again, my I guess aha moment was just seeing that there was one big idea of a problem. So for our project, we're working on a lack of use of technology by the academic teachers. Seeing that there may be just one big issue with using technology as a whole. Maybe there needs to be more training. That's a big idea. One big thing that technology usage is difficult for these people because it may not have been explained. Now, once we've identified what that connecting problem is, it might be able to solve other problems, not just with the specific technology that they're not using. Maybe there are other technologies that the district wants them to use that they're not using up to the desired amount. So finding the big problem is uh is something that was made clear by this project. Well, this case study.